It's a good day to have a good day. Hello, everybody. My name's Cece Ray. Thanks for joining me here at Break the Dish, where we break the news and dish out the tea. Hello, my breakers. How are you today? Here it's sunny, but the cold weather is just coming, and I hate cold weather. I'm already ready for summer. I need to be in the Caribbean, which is what we are getting ready to recap the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 6, Episode 7, and that's exactly where they are in the Caribbean. But before we get into that, I wanted to chat. Shall we have a little chat, breakers? First off, let's talk about Melissa Gorga. She was on Housewife. What is it? Wife Swap. Wife Swap. I really enjoyed it. Listen, I enjoyed Angie, and I really enjoyed Melissa, to be quite honest. You got a chance to see her kids, Joe. You got to see her with the younger children of the other family. And I mean, I really enjoyed it. I really did. So good job, Melissa. Good job. And it's good that you did that because Real Housewives of New Jersey are not filming, people. They are not filming. And the word on the street is they can't quite get it together. What I don't understand now is why doesn't Melissa's sisters come into the franchise? I mean, seriously, one's a performer. Why don't they? I mean, they've always been kind of a mist in her storyline, in recent, in past episodes. So like, there's a storyline right there. There's a show right there. Bravo said they want to take it back to the basics. There you go. An Italian family. Margaret's friendly with them. Dolores is friendly with them. I don't understand, unless they have been approached and they said, no way. I don't understand why they don't do that. So let's talk about something else, shall we? Why isn't anybody talking about this is what I want to know. Why isn't anybody talking about Erica Jane? She's got some major lawsuits going on. Last season, all you heard from her was, everything's under the rug, everything's good, like pet life's gone on, I've brought myself back up. Girl, it has not gone on. Like, seriously. So, thanks to Reality Blurb, one of the only ones that's talking about this, Erica Jane has reportedly lost her appeal in lawsuit brought against her by Marco designer Christopher Sala. In a series of updates shared by attorney Ronald Richards, she's headed to oral arguments in an $18 million case that accused her of wrongfully suggesting Christopher had made nearly $800,000 in fraudulently charges on her credit card. This is her American Express. If you have not watched the documentary, go watch it. Seriously. It's really a little bit of an eye-opener. And this is mentioned in that documentary with this designer of how this all took place. And I'll tell you, it makes you think twice because she might not have known what was going on in the attorney's office itself and all that and everything. But towards the end, I feel like she knew. That's why she filed for divorce right away. She probably thought, I better get out before this ship sinks. But this was definitely an eye-opener. And according to Ronald Richards, it's bad news for Erica Girardi. In the lawsuit against her in California by Marco Christopher Sala, it was being stalled because Erica appealed the denial of her slap motion. And now the Ninth Circuit Court has ruled basically no more appeals before trial. That's the end of it. Ronald also noted that the appellant's motion for a separate oral argument has been granted. And both cases are removed from the Pasadena calendar and so forth and so on. But they are getting ready for trial. In another post shared by Ronald, it revealed that Erica was desperately trying to settle a $25 million lawsuit. You heard me. $25 million. She's trying to settle. This is filed against her by Thomas Girardi's bankruptcy trustee, and they are expected to go to trial February 10th. But apparently, according to Ronald Richards, she's been in mediation several times. That makes me think that her attorney does not want her to go to trial. Because if she goes to trial, the trustee will win. So she's trying to settle on a number. That's just my opinion, but that's what I'm thinking. But she's in like, hello, this better be mentioned on Beverly Hills for the next season, or I'm going to be looking side-eyed at Beverly Hills. Like, why isn't anybody talking about this? This is what I want to know. Why? Anyway, I digress, people. But we are talking about The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 6, Episode 7. We are going to dive into this. This is a below deck crossover, and let me tell you something. I was here for it. I absolutely love seeing the crew of Below Deck and the Housewives. I mean, between water fights and when I say water fights, I do mean water fights, and I don't mean with water balloons either. Like alliances being built. This was a good episode. But before we get into it, you know what to do. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, because here we break the dish. We're recapping The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 6, Episode 7. Okay, breakers, if you haven't seen this already, let me paint a picture for you, shall I? So, it's a very dramatic scene that they open with. I mean, someone apparently is overboard. There's sharks in the water. Everything's like gray and black. And you hear Captain Jason frantically calling over the radio, like, Mayday, Mayday, like someone's overboard. There's a stuffed unicorn floating in the water, and you hear Jared Osmond's voice saying, "Good night, baby, you are loved." Crazy, right? I have to tell you, I love the editing. They do so well with Salt Lake City. I'm telling you, it's one of my favorite franchises. I mean, I really was here for it. And I'm also here, like I said, for the crossover of Below Deck. I mean, that was incredible. I think that Bravo might have missed a mark on this. You know remember how they did a crossover between Beverly Hills and Vanderpump Rules? They could have done something like that with the start of the next Below Deck season. Just my opinion, a nice smooth transition, but because we are going to see the Housewives on Below Deck, except now you'll get the crew, what their reactions were while all this was going on. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that because I love to see that. I'm here for that. But the Housewives all arrive. Well, before they arrive, let's go all the way back to the beginning. They're at the airport. A message comes in that Bronwyn is not going to make her flight, and she hopes to meet them at their location. Whitney is not surprised about this. She thinks she might not even come at all because there's all these headlines now out about Bronwyn. Remember that? So, you know, there's that, right? So, the Salt Lake City, women, like I said, are outside the deck, below deck crew, and they're being greeted, and you see everybody. You see Daisy, the chief stew, Captain Jason. You see Chef Ben. I am such a big fan of Chef Ben. I have to tell you. I mean, his food looks incredible. I love his sarcasm, and I was very excited to see him on the episode last night. Really. Um, Now, can we talk about Britani? I mean, I'm trying, people. I'm really trying to like her. I know that some of you like her, but I'm really trying. But let's just talk about her for a second. She has put her relationship on hold with Jared for 30 days, supposedly. But now she's completely committed to doing that because she likes Captain Jason. Okay. Whitney warns her not to mention Jared's name then for the entire trip if this is how she's going to be. And of course, Brittany goes, Jared, Jared, Jared. Well, that opens the door for Meredith, who throws an entire glass of pitcher of water on Brittany. I loved it. And that's not the only time she does it. I'm just giving you that warning. So, Brahman's legal drama is like, kind of like a cloud over them at this point. But Bronwyn does arrive. Now, let me tell you how Bronwyn arrives. She arrives by tender. She's in this yellow dress with like an inflatable life ring around her waist and a life preserver as a hat. Okay. It's unique. But she arrives and she finds out that she's rooming with Brittany. Oh, God. Poor Brahman. And not only is she rooming with Brittany, but they're sharing the same bed, because there's one bed in each cabin. So they go downstairs and, Brahman's unpacking and Brittany, she just can't help herself. I mean, she really just can't help herself. And she's asking her questions and Brahman's like, listen, I almost didn't come. Like, I almost didn't come. And she starts explaining about how, she maintains her innocence, how this is a sealed case with penal codes that include multiple charges that were all under one umbrella that basically had nothing to do with her. The only thing she's ever done is missed her rent, and there was a judgment against her for that, which was 20 years ago. There's no mugshot. There's no police record. There's nothing, But she does kind of hint that she feels, and so does Todd, that someone in the group is behind leaking this information. And while she's not naming names, we all know who she thinks it is, right? Yeah. So they're all sitting at lunch, and Whitney basically is like, "Is everything okay?" to Bronwyn, and Bronwyn, starts talking about the headlines and everything going on and how it's affected her and Todd and her child, and she almost didn't come, and Todd felt like maybe this wasn't a good idea for her to be on a trip with these ladies, and right away, Lisa immediately starts defending herself. She's like, well, nobody would do that here. We're all a group. We've been together a long time. Like, nobody would do that. I hope you don't think that's me because and she's just like going off the deep end. And Heather's confessional was priceless because she's like, pipe down, Lisa. You might be revealing too much. Like, sometimes, she lands it. And that one was a good one. But like I said, Elisa starts immediately defending herself, and nobody had even accused her. I mean, even Whitney's like, Lisa, nobody's accused you. Like, hello. If you hear my dogs barking in the background, I don't know what's going on. But Brahman is explaining that she's innocent and all this, and Lisa's still like defending herself, and the tension gets high at lunch, and finally Lisa's like, I'm hot. Let's just go swimming. This is ridiculous. But you can see an alliance building at that lunch. I mean, Heather's like, dope. And Whitney's like, like who could it be, So you can see this alliance kind of building. Then Britani, I mean, she makes her moves on Captain Jason. Not good. But the big thing was this, Breakers, listen to this. So Heather she's sharing a chair with Britani. They're talking about Captain Jason. And I guess maybe Heather had a little too much wine at lunch because she drops a huge bombshell. And she's like, we effed around before. What? 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 Did she just say what I thought she said? In her confessional, she's like, did I say that? Like, I outright said that? Oh, you're not going to put that in there, are you? Oh, no, you can't. Oh, bravo. Of course they did. So everybody's like on water toys. And let me tell you something. I felt so sorry for Angie. She was so seasick. I mean, this woman is throwing up everywhere. She started on board. I don't know why she decided to go on water toys. I don't know why she thought that would make her feel better. I mean, like, listen, when I used to work on Carnival, I can't tell you how many people came up to me and they were like, seasick. And they would say to me, what part of the ship can I go that it's not rocking? No joke. I mean, that's exactly what they would say. But this woman was sick. I mean, sick, sick, sick. And I really felt sorry for her. And in the meantime, Bronwyn takes Whitney downstairs to the cabin, and she's showing her Britney's stuffed unicorn. With Jared Osmond saying, "Good night, love you, babe," whatever he says. It's cringy. Do you understand? Britney, it's cringy. Like, that's cringy. I mean, that's just weird. Anyway, so while she's doing that, they get into a conversation where Bronwyn's like telling Whitney about Lisa calling her Conwyn at Amy's party a couple episodes back and bringing up those Alibaba rumors about Whitney's jewelry line. This is where Whitney's like, yeah, it's Lisa. Of course it's Lisa. And now that she knows that Bronwyn thinks it's Lisa, well, what do you think Whitney does? Of course. She goes running back to Heather. See where this alliance is forming? So she goes to Heather's cabin and she's telling Heather all about it. And meantime, Heather's like, bring Meredith in here. So Meredith comes in. I mean, they just as well given her all the evidence in front of them, basically. Meredith is not budging. Something's going on with Meredith and Lisa. They either made some sort of pact before the season that was like, we're not going against each other. We're standing strong no matter what. I mean, because you cannot break Meredith that Lisa's done anything, even though you know that Meredith's got to be thinking, well, she has done this to me before. Duh. So Angie's too sick to go to dinner, and God love Mary. Listen, we should give Mary a huge applause. I mean, really. She was like so good about staying in the cabin with Angie, and even though Angie was too sick for dinner, Mary had her dinner with her so she wasn't alone. I thought that was so sweet. I want to tell you about this website called Morning Save. I am obsessed with this website. Their motto is big savings, top brands, new daily. Seriously, that's their motto. Big savings, top brands, new daily. That is exactly what it is. I've been a member with them for about 2 years now. I love them. Matter of fact, this is how I do on my Christmas shopping. I'm not kidding. You can get stuff 70% off, 80% off, sometimes 90% off. I'm not joking. From jewelry to luxury handbags to vacuum cleaners. I mean, you name it, this site has it. And we are talking cheap. I'm not joking. And so now I'm going to share it with all of you, my breakers. So make sure that you look down in the description, and I have the link of how to get to Morning Save. Make sure you do this. I'm not joking. You will save so much money. It doesn't hurt to look, right? So go to the link, click on it, and I guarantee you when you see this, you're going to be like, Cece, why didn't you tell us sooner? I mean, it is a hidden secret, and now I'm sharing it with all of you, my breakers. Morning Save. Check it out in the link down below. Now we're sitting at dinner, and the ladies look fabulous, of course. And right away, Britani says, well, she's not going to miss Mary's commentary because, Mary is having dinner in the cabin with Angie. And right away, Heather, flips around to her and is like, no, no, no. We're not going to talk behind people's backs. If you're going to say something, you say it. You're going to say it in front of them. Aren't you just in your cabin talking behind someone's back? Okay, I just want to make sure that I got that right. Anyway, then Britani starts claiming that, she's the only one that keeps it real. Well, Bronwyn jumps on that. There's Bronwyn. She's like, no, ma'am, you do not keep it real. And she decides to spill the beans about how Britani's been talking behind Meredith and Lisa's backs, and how Meredith takes it from 0 to 1,000, just like a seizure. Well, Meredith starts going off and saying, you don't talk about people with seizures, and real people have real issues with seizures, and it's not funny, and one of my children are one of them. It's not probably what she meant, but okay. And they're going off, and all of a sudden, Meredith loses it. And Meredith takes an entire pitcher of water and just dumps her with water over Britani. And then Britani tries to get her back with a glass of water, completely misses Meredith, and dushes Bronwyn all over. So now, all the ladies are standing up, backing away from the table. Now, mind you, the crew is trying to serve dinner. Seriously. They can't even get near the table. So it is just brewing, But then, Heather is now ready to take accountability, And I don't know why she kind of thought that Meredith would have her back. Because when Meredith was in the cabin, it's obvious she's not breaking. You could give her a slideshow of everything Lisa has done in the past, and she just wasn't breaking. That's what makes me think there's something going on there. But anyway, Heather says, I'm going to just be honest with you, and she's looking at Lisa. I think you're the source of all the dirt. Lisa's like, me? And Heather goes on to say, she's the grand poobah of all of this. And Lisa, of course, is denying everything. And they're F this and F that. And they're yelling and they're screaming and they're carrying on. And meanwhile, I'm not kidding you, while you're watching this, the other housewives, it was like watching them watch a tennis game. It was like, Heather, Lisa, Heather, Lisa. I'm not kidding. And finally, even the crew of Below Deck was like, oh my God. Even Daisy went in there and she was like, they're literally killing each other. So Lisa then basically jumps up and, you're not my friend. I'm not going And Heather's like, "You're kidding me, right? Like, you're kidding me." So she goes on to walk away, crying, calling John, and Heather's following her. And I mean, Heather's like, "I'm following you. I'm following you." And she doesn't want to talk to any of the ladies. She wants to be alone. She doesn't want to be touched, nothing like that. And Heather's basically like, "Fine." And Heather goes into Angie and Mary's room and she's crying. She shuts the door and they're like, "What's going on? Like, what's happened?" I mean, they could hear stuff like going on upstairs, but they couldn't hear words. They couldn't, you know what I mean? Like, they knew something was going on, but they didn't know what. And Heather said, "This is what I said." I confronted her. And, Mary's like, "Good for you." Like, a real friend will say this to a friend, and she needed to hear that. And Mary believes that she's behind everything. And Angie believes she's behind everything. And Angie's like, "We're proud of you." So, like, everybody in the cast thinks Lisa is behind all this dirt, except for Meredith. I'm telling you, something's there. Just saying, something's going on there. But that's how it ends. I'm so here for the next episode. I want to hear how this goes. I love, like I said, the crossover with Below Deck. It is just genuinely great television, and I love it. But Breakers, what do you think? Do you think Lisa's behind all the dirt? Listen, this is how I see it, Breakers, okay? This is how I see it. If it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, chances are it's a duck. I'm just saying. And Lisa's the duck. I mean, really. Sorry, Lisa. You're a duck. But I love to hear your comments. I love to hear what you think. Do you think Lisa's behind it? Do you think that Heather's like on another like rampage, like receipts, timelines? You know what I mean? Um, and what do you think about the whole cast in general? What do you think about the crossover with Below Deck? I love to hear your comments. Comment below. You can also comment on social media. Before we end, make sure that you leave a 5-star review. That helps me out a lot. I appreciate it. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you check out Morning Save, by the way. I'm telling you, great deals. And make sure you hit that notification bell, because here we break the dish.